I'm back, baby! It has been more than a month since my last upload, and I am very sorry for that. A lot of things have happened in the entering December to January area. First, I took a week off. Big mistake, because I feel like that is what led to all of this. It has just annihilated any productivity that I had. It's terrible, it's awful. Moving on. The week after I took the week off, I got sick. Bronchitis. Can't really record voice audio with the pile of goo in your lungs. That was 2 weeks of no voice. Then I went on vacation. I've been working hard. I earned a little bit of a vacation, so we went over the mountains, through the raspberry fields, to the golden land of Vancouver Island. That was another week. Finally, that ends. We come home. Right back to work. I had about 3 hours of free time at home before I slept, and my next shift was the day after. I have not stopped moving, and I have gotten nowhere with the YouTube channel because of that, and I am very sorry, but we're on to the next project, aren't we? It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day for some oil pastel work. I decided. I've done a lot of oil painting over my holiday time, not as much as I'd like, but you know, so we're gonna do some oil pastels. This is a belated Christmas gift, and we're gonna see how that turns out. So, come with me and see. I got my comfy jammies, my mug of tea. It is 8 in the morning, and I am ready to start this day. And let's start it off right with some voiceover portions. So lately I've been trying something new where I actually use my easel for oil pastel work. It's been working out pretty well. You end up avoiding a lot of the distortion that you get when you're using these larger pieces of paper and you're laying them out on your desk. You have to be very careful about proportions because otherwise you can kind of get that like Star Wars scrolling effect of the picture. This tends to bypass that pretty well. On the other hand, it does make your arm a little bit more tired when you can't rest it on the, you know, on the desk. You kind of just have to like hang it up there and just hope that your strength keeps going long enough for you to get that final touch on that beautiful little nose. And speaking of little noses, I don't know if you noticed, but I have my reference photo here, and it is a beautiful looking, I believe it is a German Shepherd mixed with an Aussie Shepherd. It's kind of got that distinctive like mottled spotted, gray coat going on there, and got some of the almost Rottweiler-esque shape of the face. So I'm not really sure the heritage of this dog. It is a very beautiful dog. One that I hope is close enough to a dog that my father-in-law, who this gift is for, grew up with, to maybe trigger an emotional response and make him like me more. Because I mean, that's what Christmas is all about, isn't it? It's to put the friendship tokens into the people until happiness comes out. Starting right away on the coloring there, I think you can already notice that they kind of got goat eyes. Not really sure what's going on there. It is, shall we say, a design choice. I was trying to emulate the shine in the dog's eyes, but I don't know. It kind of gives it a little bit of an otherworldly quality. I'm not gonna throw the whole thing out because of that, and I don't think I scrape it away. I might trim it up a little bit, but well, we'll just keep it and move on, shall we? I gotta say though, another thing that I particularly like about holding the paper on an easel is it's a lot more cinematic, let's say. It's a lot more cinematic. It's tells more of a story. You can kind of, it's more than just a very strange camera angle of a piece of paper on the desk. It doesn't really tell the whole, everything around it. You can hardly see anything else. The camera angle is very strange because I am a little bit limited because I have a wooden stand for my camera for over desk shots. I love it to bits. It is gorgeous, and I don't think that something like a snake arm would work for this because I'm using a GH4. It is a fairly heavy camera. It's not like a camera phone or nothing, but it is what it is, and it's all about getting the good shot. So speaking of getting the good shot and sliding a little bit tangentially into experimentation, this is a little bit more of my style in a fur pattern, which is different. I'm trying to get more into pet portraits just because I like how expressive animals are. I think it's a very good thing to broaden my horizons, so to speak, and maybe
just do a little bit of everything. You know, maybe I'll do landscapes. I probably won't do landscapes. I don't find landscapes very interesting personally, but they are important to do, and so I might spend a month or two practicing them every once in a while. And but in this particular case, it is a somewhat asymmetrical, let's say, dog in very bright colors and kind of just like a melange of rainbows, and I like it. I'm gonna kind of slide in a little bit more of the Aussie Shepherd's patterns of fur in there a little bit, and kind of contrast the black and white with the vivid colors of the face. And I've got this whole thing planned out. I don't really have it planned out. I kind of just go off the cuff. Maybe it's a thing that I should work on, more meticulous planning, but I like to just, okay, so a plan will always fall apart at the first confrontation. So the second I run into a roadblock, I'm gonna have to modify the plan anyway, so what's the point in planning the whole thing out step by step, right? Whether it is a difference of vision versus application, you know, maybe something looks better in my head than it does on paper. I can't just commit to doing the thing that I said that I was going to do, like 100%, even if it's gonna end up looking terrible. I don't know. I know that there are people who do plan A to Z, and like all the power to them. I love that they can do that. It shows a lot more discipline than I have, a lot more vision. I like to just wing it. Okay, so the dog kind of looks like the flashback dog. I don't know if you've seen this video, but it's this old dog with PTSD, and they're showing the dog the cupcakes and he's just staring off into the middle distance. This is what that dog reminds me of. And I love it and I hate it at the same time. And it's far too far along in the process for me to change it. If I try to scrub it out, I'm just gonna ruin the paper, because this is paper. It's not birch panel like I like to use nowadays. It's terrible. I love it. It's garbage. I want 1,000 of them. Starting on them ears now. We're getting I think they're mostly a normal color, but so I don't think that there's a lot more to talk about at the moment. So let's kind of talk about my last month and what a trip it's been. Okay, so my last video, early December, right? I decided I was gonna take a week off, do a video, maybe have something for Christmas, maybe not, you know, just kind of play it by ear. And then, so I took the week off, and then I got sick, and I got so friggin' sick. It was ridiculous. I had multiple people telling me that I should have gone to the hospital, but I didn't, because I never claimed to be smart, and I don't think that you should hold that against me personally. So I missed 2 uploads because of that, and then I managed to have maybe 4 days of work before I actually went on vacation, which is what happened early January. So early January, we drive through the mountains, and altogether I lose probably about 30 years of my life each time we drive through the mountains in the winter, because we've done it multiple times. Never claimed I was smart, remember? At night, by the way, I feel like I should emphasize that we did this at night in the mountains. Terrible idea. I do not recommend that to anyone, least of all for people like me who have next to zero night vision. Now, thankfully, I was not the one driving. My fiance, heart of hearts, light of lights, was the one behind the wheel, and she is wholly competent to drive at night in adverse conditions. My heart does not feel that when I am in the passenger seat staring death in the face. And a couple of times we had to stop and kind of just like chill for the night because I could not take it anymore. So I have a very bad astigmatism, part of the glasses thing, and every light that shines at me is just a smear. It is a blur upon my vision that obstructs my view almost entirely, especially in the dark. And when you're driving on a twinned highway with traffic going in either direction, a lot of things that tend to happen are things like having headlights shone at you, and especially having, shall we say, neutron stars shining into your eyeball, directly into your eyeball. The trucks on that road are the absolute worst. I do not know who raised them to be like that. They should be something that I'm not going to finish on YouTube because I don't want to risk anything, let's say. Actually, with that whole story out of the way, we can see that the picture is almost done. So I'm just going to say a couple more things and I'm gonna let it just play out in blessed silence. I'm sure that's what you come here to see, is just for me to stop talking. So I'm gonna do that just in a second, but first I want to talk about this ruffle. And this was probably the most hastily done part of this whole drawing, and I think it's the part that sells it the most, is this ruffle around the neck. That part, I guess, on a German Shepherd, where if they get bit, there's extra skin there, so it's not going to do as much damage, kind of a thing. It just makes it look good. I like it. I really like it. The shoulder on the left side of the picture, maybe not so much. The right side, maybe not so much. But that ruffle, though. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's about it for me. I'm gonna let the last minute and a bit play out, and I will see you in the outro.
Wasn't so bad, was it? My last Michael's poster frames. So the next couple days of uploads, probably over the next month or so, are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be progress shots. Because I have a project. You can see it kind of over here a little bit. It is this guy. That is a 30 by 40 canvas. I have a show coming up, and they want a piece of art, idea behind it being found. I was thinking found family. I was thinking Rosie. I would paint Rosie. My little baby Rosie is going up on the big screen. Isn't it wonderful? So that's about it for me this week. Tune in next time, probably next week, but who knows, given my lack of consistency in the last few months. Have a good night, folks. Bye-bye.